Okay, so I'm going to start this question, strangely, by telling you what not to do, because so many people get questions like this wrong that I'm going to tell you how not to do it. So let's say here we have a square, its area is 230 centimeters squared, and you're asked to find the lower bound for the perimeter. What you must not do is this. Okay, here's our square, let's call the length of the side x. So you would do something along the lines of, well, x squared must be 230, so you're going to find x. So x comes out as 15.165, 15.165. So the perimeter is going to be 4 lots of x. So you do that number multiplied by 4. Well, that would give you, so the perimeter would be 60.66. And then try and find upper and lower bounds for that. Rubbish. The method doesn't work. You're doing completely the wrong thing. So let's start again and think about what you do actually need to do. I'm just going to rub that lot out. Do not do what I've just done because it's wrong. So you're told that the area of the square is 230 square centimeters, and that's correct to 2 significant figures. So first of all, your job is to work out the upper and lower bounds for the measurements that you've been given. Now, 2 significant figures is a bit tricky. 2 significant figures here, though. That 2 is my first significant figure. This is my second significant figure, and my second significant figure is in the tens column. So in this case, rounding to 2 significant figures has been the same as rounding to the nearest 10. And if you round something to the nearest 10, to find the upper and lower bounds, you add and subtract half of what it's measured to the nearest. In this case, it's measured to the nearest 10. So to find the upper and lower bounds for the area, I'm going to add and subtract half of 10, which is 5. So the area of this square is somewhere between 235, so I add that's the upper bound for the area, and the lower bound for the area is 230. Take away 5, which is 225 centimeters squared. Now the question says, what's the lower bound for the perimeter of the square? So I'm going to use the lower bound for the area. This is the minimum possible area. So this is the minimum possible area of the square. And if that's the minimum possible area of the square, that is going to give us the minimum possible length of the square. So we now know that the smallest possible area of the square is 225 centimeters squared. So how long would each side of the square be if its area was 225? Well, that just becomes x squared is 225, which gives us that x is 15 centimeters. So the actual smallest possible length of a side of this square is 15 centimeters. So that's the smallest possible square we can have. The lower bound for the perimeter of the square, then, if we look at a square, if its lengths are 15 centimeters, then the smallest possible perimeter, so the lower bound for the perimeter, which is what they want, must be 4 lots of 15. So it must be 60 centimeters. That's the smallest possible perimeter of the square. But remember what you have to do. Work out the upper and lower bounds for the measurement that you are given, then think about what to do next.